Watch Sports, your insider's look at Ole Miss athletics and the world of sports.
We are here in New Orleans at the Superdome, and I'm here with Sean Ross, and we're going to talk to you about tomorrow's game. Several different things are going on, but first of all, let's talk about what Ole Miss has done since our big loss last Saturday. So, Sean, can you tell us a little bit about what Ole Miss has done to prepare for this game tomorrow?
Hopefully you got to build yourselves up. I mean, it was a heartbreaking loss to Jacksonville State. Tulane's in the same predicament almost. Not a loss, but a win, but to a smaller school in Southeastern. But like Coach Nutt said, you got two choices. You build up and forget about what happened in the past, or you dwell on that. If you want to win, you got to move on.
Right. I also heard that Coach Nick said last weekend that they played only in the three quarters, and in the fourth quarter was almost as if they gave up. So let's hope that Ole Miss can stick through and play a full game, full out, and then I think we can have ourselves a win, because we really didn't even fall apart until last week in the third quarter. Also, what's been going on this week are some players that have been added to the list of the game tomorrow and some that have been dismissed. There's Kentrell Lockett. He's been having heart murmur problems, but it is expected that he will play tomorrow. What have you heard about that, Sean?
Well, he's expected to play. The doctors have cleared him. He had this happen to him actually 2 years ago, but they said, so this is nothing unexpected. They said doctors have cleared him, so he's expected to play, maybe not start, but we should see something out of him, especially one of our, top players on defensive line.
Right, and another unexpected returner is going to be Fawn Ingram. He had a knee surgery August 26th, and now he's been back at practice since Tuesday. Coach Nutt said that he wasn't quite full up to speed, which is expected, but he worked hard to come back for this game. So I expect to see him play a little in this game, and that will be awesome for us in defense. Now let's talk about two players that have been dismissed, or one rather that has been dismissed, and that's Rashard Johnson. Tell us a little bit about how that might affect us.
Well, I mean, it happened to him before, so I think we can actually probably move on. It seems to be a pattern with him. So, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, and Brandon Sanders has also been on suspension, definitely. So we don't know when he's coming back. We do know both of them were in violation of team rules. What those rules were that they broke, we don't know, but hopefully we'll find out. Now let's talk about the atmosphere going on down here in New Orleans. Sean here is from New Orleans, so tell us what a game here in the Superdome is like.
Well, the people in New Orleans, they always say we like to party, we like to have fun, which is very, very true. Last night I was fortunate enough to be here for the NFL kickoff against the Saints and the Minnesota Vikings, and it was very, very loud. I don't know if you can tell. Hopefully my voice doesn't sound too terrible. Got a lot of yelling and screaming, but yeah, it can get loud, especially because you expect to hear a lot of rowdy Ole Miss fans here. Expect to have quite a crowd. Yeah,
well, it will be my first time, and I'm sure a lot of other first-timers here watching an Ole Miss game in the Superdome, so I expect it to be really exciting. Now, also, outside of here is a street called Bourbon Street.
Never heard of it.
And never, ever. And I would expect you can find all the Ole Miss fans down there. It'll be awesome to have everyone come together and support them. What is it going to be like down there tonight, do you think?
I expect to see a lot of people down here for sure. People a lot doing that, like my cameraman is telling me. I see a lot of people probably walking, high-fiving people, walking from the bars and the restaurants, Land Shark, Hottie Toddy. Plenty of that going around all night and definitely through the rest of the weekend.
Right. Well, I can say that there are a lot of fans that are going to be down here, because I just pulled in, and on my way down here from Jackson, there were tons of Ole Miss cars. Everyone's waving their flags. So I think that Ole Miss, it's safe to say, is taking over New Orleans for this weekend. So if you're not here, you're going to be missing out, so you should come down here. Okay, next, let's talk about the preview against Tulane. Can you tell us some of the key players for Tulane?
For Tulane, got right here. Orleans Darkwa, their all-star running back, had 3 touchdowns. He averages 4 yards a carry. That's awesome. You can't ask for anything better than that. And so, I mean, if Ole Miss wants to win, they're going to want to have to stop him. I mean, Ole Miss has a great running game too with Davis and Bolden. They seem unstoppable too. They did good games last week as well. And the thing is, with both of them, they're coming off of their last week's opponents were both from smaller schools. And granted, Tulane won, but it was an ugly win. They only won by 6 points. They're actually disappointed in themselves, even though a win is a win. It's still in college football. There's those style points,
That's true. So it's safe to say that both teams were extremely disappointed by last week's games. So this is a huge game, especially for Ole Miss. If we lose, this will be 0-2 for us this season, and that hasn't happened in quite some time.
Yeah, it hasn't happened since I believe 2004. So it's been a while, and it hasn't happened much in Houston Nutt's career either. I think it maybe happened only once. That was his first coaching job in 1993 at Murray State.
Yeah, and also if Tulane wins, then this will be a 2-0 record for them.
2-0 for them, and that hadn't happened in quite a while too. I mean, Tulane football, I mean, it used to be a big deal back in the day. They had Tulane Stadium. They've hosted many Super Bowls. Actually, look here in the Raptors, you can see Tulane. They were SEC champions. They've been Sugar Bowl champions. They were in the SEC. So him and Tulane and Ole Miss, they have quite a rivalry.
Yeah. Well, this is actually the 70th time that these teams are meeting. This is the 4th longest running team that we are playing here. So it's expected to be an awesome game. So I'm excited. Hopefully the Rebels will pull off a great win. And I think that that's about all we have to talk about tomorrow's
definitely.
preview. So back to you guys in the studio.